Hey, howdy, folks. It's the Curator. Today we're reading another chapter of the Fandago campaign. This would be chapter 2 called Imprisonment. Yes, imprisonment. It's not a good episode. A lot of not so great stuff. But, anyways, I won't prolong this. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Chapter 2 Imprisonment. Unknown time, unknown date, unknown location. Today marks day 60 since we've been brought to the prison. We were captured by the TCP following the attack on Mothership 15 back in November. They shoved us onto these large transportation ships crowded with crying and angry citizens who lived on the mothership. I was separated from the others, like Ryan and my mom. Frankly, since I got here, I haven't seen Ryan or Mom since that day. At first, I felt panicked and confused. Waves of worry threatened to overcome me whenever I thought about them. I tried to push that all deep down in my mind, telling myself not to antagonize myself, even though constant hope and persistent doubt waged war inside me about whether or not I'll be able to get out of here at all. When we arrived, it was cold and dark outside. We had to wear these breathing devices. I don't know when we arrived, what day or what time of day it was, but being cooped up in those ships for several days at a time with little sleep and cramped space made all those hours blur together. Hell, I'm not even certain how long ago that event happened. My guess today is probably January 30th or maybe early February. Constant watch has been our reality since we arrived. Our work only takes place during the night. A man said the reason is because of sun deprivation. They want us to suffer emotionally and psychologically. I don't understand the term, but it's easy to see everyone here suffering. But is it really because of the lack of sun? I'm not fully convinced. We sleep during the day and work at night, while those soldiers watch over us like buzzards. They make explosives, missiles, guns, all to support their military campaign, probably because they're preparing for the UEC to strike back. I work on an assembly line, sliding all the firing pins in each gun, while others add the iron sights or other components to the guns. All I do is sit in the chair, doing the same monotonous tasks, making some guns, bullets. Maybe one day we'll make some guns, maybe next it'll be ammunition. They space things out too, so you can't really load up the guns and try to use them against the guards. Even if we did revolt, the guards here are very well trained, and there's almost as many guards here as prisoners in this horrid prison. I bet there's multiple prisons too to keep those that are captured, keeping us separated from family, further depriving us from those kinds of bonds. Just another form of torture, huh? I don't see what they stand to gain from treating us like this. Yeah, they mean we make guns for them and do all these other tasks for them, but why punish us so harshly? The anger I feel is a mix between anger and confusion. It makes me want to ask them directly, but fear stops me from asking those guards. Those who have tried to talk to them before have been beaten, some so severely they're even killed. So we just continue to work mindlessly, night after night. But to hell of it. Why should I even sit here and continuously keep wondering why or how this could even happen? It did, and there's nothing I can do that can change it. So I'm gonna keep working, grabbing at the stock, sliding the firing pin, closing the gun, and sitting it back down. I have to be quick about it too, because the table could move to the next gun before I finish, and I'll disrupt the whole process. You disrupt the process, you get punished. And from those who have survived those punishments, there are differing tales, from some telling of extreme brutality, while others not so much. Others come back with a different story. They are tossed into a chair completely tied down, in a room that's entirely black. And there's not a way you can really move, so you're stuck there. So even if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go in your own pants. Shit, pee, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many times you will sit there. You'll remain there until they decide to drag you off and hose you down, and then throw you back to work. So I always make sure I keep ahead. I try not to make the mark, but exceed it. I finish installing the firing pin secure and place it right back down. About 10 seconds later, the conveyor belt will slide over and I move on to the next one. Pull a firing pin from the bin, put it in, secure it, put it back. I repeat the process. I feel like I could do it in my sleep, endlessly moving on muscle memory. I probably repeated that process about 100 more times before the first bell rang. I stood up, and we removed the guns from the conveyor belt and moved them over to a container so they could be finished tomorrow. Then we began cleaning the area, spraying chemicals on the conveyor belt and cleaning the ground. About 30 minutes later, the second bell rang, and we moved to a white line and stood shoulder to shoulder. 3 guards came down from their little perch and asked us for our code. They came to me.
"What is your prisoner code?"
said the female guard. "Prisoner number 627, I said.
"Good. Now check him."
She said. One of the guards grabbed and checked my shoulder, and the code checked out, and then they moved on. The process takes about an hour, after which they march us out to our housing cells, and then we're allowed to eat. Rations are small, about 5 ounces of pickled meat, 1 roll, and some watery black coffee. It's better than nothing, but it's not very filling either. Since I arrived, I've probably dropped about 30-ish pounds. I was already a lean 15-year-old boy then. I weighed around 120 pounds then. Now I'm probably closer to 90. The checking process ends and we march right foot, left foot down the line. After about 60 feet, I turned right into the waiting cell. They gave us breathing devices and then marched us right into the night. I could see the endless stars. The barracks squeeze in about 100 people into an 800 square foot box, most of which is taken up by those beds. Speaking of beds, they're made of straw and rubber and are very uncomfortable. Moving around them is extremely loud too, and the room, as you expected, is near dead silent, so any movement feels like a gunshot. We do what we can to try to limit ourselves from waking the others throughout the night. They would wake us up for about an hour to make sure we're still present, and then make us go back to sleep for a couple hours and wake us up again, so then we could do the whole process all over again. Grabbing rebreathers, going in between each building, repeat, and wake up for the final time and begin working again. Even with these poor living conditions, what makes it worse while trying to sleep is my night terrors. Reliving every moment that happened on that ship. Thomas executed, Dad ran off to fight the TCP head on. Even on the first day at this prison, I was split up from Ryan and Mom. They were parted ways from me forcefully, being dragged by those guards. Ryan tried to fight tooth and nail to bring me with him, and the guards beat him into fucking compliance. I hate this place with a sheer passion. It fills me with burning anger and desperation the longer I'm here. I long for escape. My hate simmers beneath the surface, but it's strong and unwavering. In my mind, this place is what I imagine the first ring of hell must be like. Helplessness threatens to overwhelm me, but my anger keeps me from being completely in despair. So I ate the bland food, and eventually put on my bed uniform and crawled right into bed. They don't give us any showers here, so all of us smell pretty ripe, I imagine. But I've gotten used to those smells, so I've gone nose blind. And so now I can't even tell if I'm actually smelling bad or anything. But if memory serves me, I remember the first few nights being pretty bad smelling. The only time we get showers is when the warden does his little inspections. These large mobile showers are brought in and we get those maybe once a month at best. But you learn to deal with it. When those showers do come in, it's probably the best days to wake up to. Though it only lasts a mere moment, but we get to shower. Afterwards, we stand in an atrium in the facility while they inspect the rest of the facility, looking through every nook and cranny to see if we're hiding anything or maybe we stole something. Actually, we're due for another one. The prospect of a shower sparks a brief surge of relief, quickly overshadowed by the dread of the coming hours of formation. I don't know whether to welcome it or resent the shower. These are conflicting emotions that tango inside my mind before I finally go to sleep. While I sleep, I dream of the same night I lost everything. The gunshots, the vivid experience, the heat of the moment. A sudden explosion in my dream woke me up, where the others all jumped around too. I heard shouting and then another explosion. Gunfire could be heard. I could see daylight on the edges of the door. The sun. One of the men went to the door, but others warned him not to open it. I wouldn't open that door. It could be the guards out there trying to stop a rebellion or something. I don't know if we should get involved, man, said Kyle. Many of us try to grab our rebreathers. I think we should revolt against them. They've kept us locked up here for 80 days. Man, we need to get ready to get out of here. Come on! The man kicked open the door. The light was so damn blinding. We all reacted in a similar manner, shielding our eyes from the bright light. When my eyes adjusted, I could see large ships flying above the courtyard. When they landed, troops dispensed out of it, and they attacked the guards. The fighting continued, but ended not too long afterwards. The soldiers who were doing the attack ran towards us. One of the soldiers wearing a spacesuit came running up towards us and said,
"How many of you are there?"
"About 100 of us," said one man.
"Alright, come on. Follow me. We're getting you guys out of here now,"
said the soldier. "Thank you, sir," said one of the men. We all profusely thanked the man. Some of us even hugged him. Tears streamed down my face, overwhelmed by the sudden hope and disbelief. The taste of freedom. We all ran outside, ran towards the ships and entered them. We gorged ourselves on this food, and those soldiers gave it out like hotcakes. The sense of joy became mixed with worry. Before I could get my own ration, one of the men said,
"Do not give them too much food! They'll kill themselves by eating it! There's too much fucking nutrients!"
shouted one of the soldiers. Relief gave way to caution, so the soldiers began withholding the rations from us. My stomach felt like it was eating me alive. I needed that food. Don't take it away. I stayed on the ship and they closed it up, and we began flying away. I feel upset. I really wanted to kill those bastards myself, personally. I promise I will kill the bastards. Not just those ones in the prison. No, I want all of them. All of their heads. Each and every fucking one of them. They deserve no mercy. Not from me, not from anyone on that fucking ship. We rode on the ship for a couple of minutes. It was very silent on board. It was very peaceful, like a whiplash. I didn't think freedom would be quite so quiet. When the ride finally ended, the ship doors opened and revealed a much larger ship inside. Soldiers with medical kits and food rations were prepared for us. We ran at them. People profusely thanked them, hugging them, kissing them, thankful to be away from a place that we called hell. I'm even filled with extreme emotions. It feels unreal, surreal. We were rescued. But one thing's now in my mind. I want to destroy the TCP. Every last one of them. Four hours later, 1:41 a.m., January 21st, 2154. After hours had passed, my stomach continued to ache. I was yearning for more food, but I continued to stay away from it. If the man that told us that statement earlier was correct, then I don't want to have anything to do with that food right now. No, I have way too many things going on to just die. "The last ship is coming back," said a soldier. He turned towards us and shouted, "Clear off! We're going to be opening the hangar doors." Many people began to clear the hangar, including the soldiers. I stood next to one after we got into the ship's hallways. The soldier looked through a window and I stood behind him and looked through the same window. We saw the hangar doors open and we saw multiple ships landed, and then the hangar doors closed and the room was repressurized. 4 ships have arrived, and they dropped off many more prisoners. Person after person got off. Kyle reunited with his dad, Mitchell, and both of David's parents came back too. Even Kristen's mom did. If only Ryan and Mom would come back, then things would be all the better. Please, dear God, let them walk off that ship. Let them walk off that ship. But they didn't. I'm all alone now. I stood up and hobbled over to one of the soldiers. He turned to me. "Hey buddy, what's up? Are you sure there's no one else coming back at all? Not a single person?" "No, there isn't, unfortunately. All the ships that are coming back are coming back with the bodies of the deceased. Is there, like, someone you're looking for in particular? I mean, it very well could be in amongst the crowd. You just might have not spotted them yet, you know? But If there ain't there isn't really much else I can tell you, buddy. He spoke with a very soft and caring tone. Thank you, sir. I said softly before turning away and taking a few steps. With my right hand, I clenched my chest, and my left, I clenched my right arm, just to try to stave off those tears. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I took a deep breath and exhaled slowly and calmed down. I continued to hold onto my forearm tightly, as if my life depended on it. Suddenly, a soft hand touched my shoulder, and I turned around. Amy was standing there. She hugged me. At first, I let my hands hover before I embraced her fully for a full hug. Her parents didn't return either. I'm sorry for your loss, I said. She hugged me tighter and whimpered a little. I hugged her tighter too. Suddenly, another person grabbed a hold of me and hugged. That was David. Then Kristen and Kyle joined us for a sort of group hug. I'll join the military to protect them. But more importantly, to kill the TCP. From my suffering and the suffering of my friends, my family. Ryan, Mom, Thomas, Dad. These sorts of things. These sorts of horrendous acts. That shall be paid in full. In blood. I'll kill as many as it takes. As many as it takes. Well, that's the end of it, folks. That's all. Chapter 2 is done and over with. Eventually I'll be doing Chapter 3. And it shouldn't take too long to finish all these different chapters. But I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, well, you done didn't. And I'm having fun sort of making these. So, good evening, good night, and well, have a good rest of your day, folks. God bless you.